Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally ready to begin. Sorry for the slight delay. Technical problems are technical. Anyway, it is my great pleasure and honor to bid you all welcome to this first charity concert that we made here at Eurofurence. It's a new thing we're trying out. So far it seems like it's a hell of a lot popular, so we'll probably try and do it again. I had the distinct pleasure of watching these three guys rehearsing together a couple of days ago in the evening. I pictured, they could kind of talk for about an hour and agree on which individual pieces of their music they would do. And we ended up leaving the room at 1 in the morning, and they just decided to do like over half of it together, because one of them just started and the other one picked up an instrument, and they all bounced off each other. They're all three really great musicians, and it turns out they love each other's music and they work so well together. I could not have hoped for anything better. It was truly magical. There was one point where I almost cried, and then I almost made him cry, so he made me stop. Yeah, sorry. It's like, I told you about crying. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming here and thereby donating to the charity. When we end this concert, you will have the opportunity to go outside in the lobby where we will be sitting, selling the posters for this concert. And you can also, for an extra fee, get them signed by the three performers. Again, all that money goes directly and uncut to the charity. So if you like the concert, please support the charity by coming outside, buying a poster, and if you want, even getting it signed. Plus, it will be a really nice memory to have. Anyway, without further ado, I shan't delay any further. I bid welcome to our guest of honor, Mr. Peter Beagle, to Alexander J. Adams, and to Amoore.
This lead-off number is one of mine. It's a perfectly true story and a pirate song, both, called The Ballad of Mary Read. And it actually has a proper sea shanty refrain. If you can pick it up and play around with it, feel free. That's what we're going to do. The Ballad of Mary Read. Come all you filibusterers and roving buccaneers, you rapparees and picaroons and wayward privateers, you gentlemen of fortune, roaring captains one and all, come hear the tale of Mary Read and dancing Jack Duval. And it's a glass for every prize and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. Her hair was full of twilight, and her eyes were like a game. Her face was like the deep sea that never stays the same. She knew as many rakish songs as any might desire. She danced along the rigging like St. Elmo's bloody fire. And it's a glass for every prize and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. She went on the account at 15 years, I do declare. At 16 with Anne Bonny, she drew a fighter's share. At 17 with Blackbeard, she a hand in every hall. And all men took her for a man, but dancing Jack Duval. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. Now Jack Duval had one walleye and a pale and greasy jowl. He never struck an honest blow if he could deal a foul. His pleasure was in corners, and the dark was all his creed. But women loved the strangest rogues, and so did Mary Read. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. We were lying south of Cuba, just off the Isle of Pines, when Jack hit Beauty Davy with a jug of brandy wine. Now they're down the jug together, and Duval was in his cups. 'Twas the only time he ever struck a grown man standing up. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. When two men fall to fighting in the buccaneering bands, they set them on some stony isle with iron in their hands. There's the longboat for the winner, and the devil for the ghost, and that's the way it happens with the brethren of the coast. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. Beauty Davy got his pistols, Beauty Davy got his blade, and Jack went in the 'tween decks, and that was where he stayed, till they caught him in the stern sheets, a-sliding overside, and he lay down in the scuppers, and kicked his feet and cried. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. Bonnie was for dragging him all underneath the keel, and Blackbeard was for sending him to feed the moray eel. But Mary nursed him tenderly and kissed his scurvy face, and took his sword and pistol to the island in his place. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. They rowed ashore together, Mary Read and Beauty Dave, one bound for life and whiskey, and the other for the grave. She looked back once and saw the crew a-crowding to the rail, and Dancing Jack among them, cracking jokes and drinking ale. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. Her pistol would not fire, being flooded with the waves, and when he pulled the trigger, no more would Beauty Dave's. So they went in it with cutlasses, they fought for half a day, and Mary cut him down and dug his grave and rode away. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. 4 months later, off La Guaira, on the Caribbean tide, in Blackbeard's bed and Annie's arms, she bore a son and died. And Bonnie took the baby, and Blackbeard kept the shawl, and no one knows what ever came of Dancing Jack Duval. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read. So here's to Mary Read, drink her health in Holland's gin. She gave a face to courage and a decent name to sin. And here's to Dancing Jack, drink to him in sherry wine, 'cause there couldn't be no heroes if there wasn't no bloody swine. And it's a glass for every prize, and two for every dirty deed, and three more for the soul of wicked, loving Mary Read.